Wire transfer from your account to Joanna Webster's. Phone records with Joanna Webster prior to her testimony. Prior to her testimony. Prior to her testimony.
Testimony.
An affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster
And an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster
to falsely testify. Mr. Hunt, wire transfer from your account to Joanna Webster. Wire transfer from your account to Joanna Webster's. Phone records with Joanna Webster prior to her testimony. Phone records with Joanna Webster prior to her testimony.
prior testimony. Phone records with Joanna Webster prior to her testimony. Phone records with Joanna Webster prior to her testimony.
Phone records with Joanna Webster. Phone records with Joanna Webster prior.
Joanna Webster. Phone records with Joanna Webster. Phone records with Joanna Webster prior to her testimony. Testimony.
An affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster to falsely testify. An affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster to falsely testify.
Falsely.
Falsely testify.
An affidavit.
An affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster. And an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster.
An affidavit stating you. An
affidavit stating you paid
Miss Webster. An affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster to falsely testify. An affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster to falsely testify. An affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster to falsely testify. An affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster to falsely testify. Wire transfer from your account to Joanna Webster. Wire transfer from your account to Joanna Webster's. Wire transfer from your account to Joanna Webster's. Phone records with Joanna Webster prior to her testimony. An affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster to falsely testify. Wire transfer from your account to Joanna Webster's. Phone records with Joanna Webster prior to her testimony. An affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster to falsely testify. Wire transfer from your account to Joanna Webster. Wire transfer from your account to Joanna Webster. Wire transfer from your account to Joanna Webster's. Phone records with Joanna Webster prior to her testimony. and an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster the test. And an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster the test. And an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster and an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster the person to testify. And an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster the person to testify. And an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster the person to testify. And an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster the person to testify.
Wire transfer from your account to Joanna Webster. Wire transfer from your account to Joanna Webster's.
Wire transfer from your account. Wire transfer from your wire transfer from your account to Joanna Webster's. Wire transfer from your account wire transfer from your account to Joanna Webster's. Wire transfer from your account to Joanna Webster's.
Wire transfer from your account to Joanna Webster's. Phone records with Joanna Webster prior to her testimony.
Phone records with Joanna Webster. Phone records with Joanna Webster prior to testify phone records with Joanna Webster prior testimony testimony phone records with Joanna Webster prior to testimony.
Prior to her testimony. Prior to her testimony. Prior to her testimony. Phone records with Joanna Webster prior to her testimony.
Prior to testimony.
Phone records with Joanna Webster prior to testimony.
Phone records with Joanna Webster prior to testimony. Phone records with Joanna Webster prior to testimony. Prior to testimony. Prior to testimony. With Joanna Webster prior to testimony. Wire transfer from your account. Wire transfer from your account to Joanna Webster's. From your account to Joanna Webster's. Phone records with Joanna Webster prior to testimony.
And an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster to falsely testify.
And an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster to falsely testify. And an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster. And an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster. You paid Miss Webster to test. You paid Miss Webster to falsely testify. And an affidavit
stating you paid Miss Webster to falsely testify. And an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster to falsely testify. And an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster to falsely testify. And an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster to falsely testify. And an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster to falsely testify.
You paid Miss Webster to falsely testify. Falsely testify. You paid Miss Webster to falsely testify. 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 Falsely testify. And an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster to falsely testify. And an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster to falsely testify. And an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster. And an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster. a, e, u, e, o, and an affidavit stating you paid Miss and an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster falsely testify. And an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster falsely testify. And an affidavit stating you paid Miss and an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster falsely testify. And an affidavit stating you paid Mr.
And an affidavit stating you paid Miss Webster falsely testify. Mr. Hunt. Mr. Hunt. Harassment is a civil violation. The penalty is money, but Mr. Hunt. Harassment is a civil violation. Mr. Hunt. Harassment is a civil violation. The penalty is money, but witness tampering, that's a crime. And you will go to prison where I guarantee you'll learn more about unwanted sexual advances than you can possibly imagine. That you can possibly imagine.
Possibly imagine.
Is that you can possibly imagine. Is that you can possibly imagine. Do you think this is going to intimidate me? Mr. Hunt. Harassment is a civil violation. The penalty is money. But witness tampering, that's a crime. And you will go to prison where you will go to prison where I guarantee you will go to prison where I guarantee you will learn more about unwanted sexual advances than you can possibly imagine. Learn more about unwanted sexual advances than you can possibly imagine. Mr. Hunt. Harassment is a civil violation. The penalty is money. But witness tampering. Witness tampering. That's a crime. And you will go to prison where I guarantee you'll learn more about unwanted sexual advances than you can possibly imagine. Learn more about unwanted sexual advances than you can possibly imagine. Do you think this is going to intimidate? Do you think this is going to intimidate me? Mr. Hunt. Harassment is a civil violation. The penalty is money. But witness tampering, that's a crime. And you will go to prison where I guarantee you'll learn more about unwanted sexual advances than you can possibly imagine. Mr. Hunt. Harassment is a civil violation. The penalty is money. Mr. Hunt. Harassment is a civil violation. The penalty is money. Mr. Hunt. Harassment is a civil violation. 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 The penalty is money. But witness tampering, that's a crime. Mr. Hunt. Harassment is a civil violation. The penalty is money. But witness tampering, that's a crime. And you will go to prison where. But witness tampering, that's a crime. And you will go to prison where I guarantee you will learn more about unwanted sexual advances than you can possibly imagine. Mr. Hunt. Harassment is a civil violation. Mr. Hunt. Harassment is a civil. Mr. Hunt. Harassment is a civil violation. The penalty is money. But witness tampering, that's crime. You will go to prison where I guarantee you will learn more about sexual advancement. But witness tampering, that's crime. And you will go to prison where I guarantee you will learn more about unwanted sexual advances than you can possibly imagine. Mr. Han. Where I guarantee you will I guarantee you will learn. I guarantee you will learn. I guarantee you will learn. And you will go to prison. And you will go to prison. And you will go to prison. Where I guarantee you will learn. And you will go to prison. And you will go to prison. Where I guarantee you will learn more about unwanted sexual advances than you can possibly imagine. More about unwanted sexual advances and learn more about unwanted sexual advances than you can possibly imagine. Mr. Han. Mr. Han. Harassment is a civil violation. The penalty is money. Mr. Han. Harassment is a civil violation. The penalty is money. But witness tampering, that's crime. You will go to prison where I guarantee you will learn more about unwanted sexual advances than you can possibly imagine. Mr. Han. Harassment is a civil violation. The penalty is money. But witness tampering, that's crime. You will go to prison where I guarantee you will learn more about unwanted sexual advances than you can possibly imagine. Mr. Han. Harassment is a civil violation. The penalty is money. But witness tampering, that's crime. You will go to prison where I guarantee you will learn more about unwanted sexual advances than you can possibly imagine.
Do you think this is going to?
Do you think this is going to Do you think this is going to intimidate me? Even if this evidence was credible,
Who you gonna get to? Who you gonna get to? Who you gonna? Who you gonna get to? Who you gonna get to? Who you gonna get to? Who you gonna get? Who you gonna get to? Who you gonna get to? Who you gonna get to prosecute? Who you gonna get to prosecute?
who you gonna get to? Oh. Who are you gonna get to prosecute?
Prosecute.
Prosecute. Prosecute.
Prosecute.
Prosecute. Prosecute. Prosecute.
Prosecute.
Prosecute. Prosecute.
Prosecute.
Prosecute.
Prosecute.
Prosecute.
Prosecute. Prosecute.
Prosecute. Who are you gonna get? Who are you gonna get to prosecute?
Who you gonna get to? Who
you gonna get to prosecute?
Who you gonna get to prosecute a small time? Who you gonna get to prosecute a small time witness tamper? Who you gonna get to prosecute a small time witness tamper? Who you gonna get to prosecute a small time witness tampering charge?
Huh?
Small time witness tampering charge.
Huh?
Small time witness tampering charge.
Huh?
Who
You're gonna get to prosecute
prosecute
prosecute,
prosecute a small time, prosecute a small time, prosecute a small time witness tampering charge, huh? Who are you gonna get to prosecute a who are you gonna get to prosecute a small time who are you gonna get to prosecute a small time witness tampering charge, huh? Who you gonna get to prosecute a small time witness tampering charge, huh? We're gonna get to prosecute a small time witness tampering charge, huh? We're gonna get to prosecute a small time we're gonna get to prosecute a small time witness tampering charge, huh? We're gonna get to prosecute a small time witness tampering charge, huh? We're gonna get to prosecute a small time